LEGO is one of the oldest toy companies in the world. With their age, they've managed to keep some of the craziest secrets ever. So these are 63 secrets that I bet you didn't know about LEGO. This limited edition LEGO set, called the LEGO System House, was exclusively made for the LEGO Inside Tour in 2019. Only 80 of these sets were made, and since they were only available at the Inside Tour, it wasn't around for very long. It's a pretty small set depicting the LEGO company building in Billund, Denmark, and funnily enough, this set has an insane secret. Usually, LEGO bricks are made by melting plastic at extremely high temperatures and pouring it into molds, but one of the pieces in this set was actually made by a 3D printer. To be honest, if it wasn't for the internet, I'd have no idea that LEGO ever even did something like this. But it almost seems like LEGO didn't even want people to find out about it. On the inside, this set has 3 different rooms, one of which contains the secret 3D printed piece. This thing isn't even visible once the set's been fully built. So unless you built one of the 80 sets yourself, there's no way you know about it. I have to say, this is a pretty well kept LEGO secret, but it's got nothing on some of the other ones in this video. So be sure to watch until the end. This is the LEGO wooden duck set, and you won't believe what you had to do to be able to get your hands on one of these guys right here. Believe it or not, it was actually a limited edition Christmas gift that was only handed out to LEGO employees back in 2016. But in case that isn't enough for you, there's still more to uncover here. Back before LEGO was making bricks, they actually made wooden toys, and this LEGO set is an exact replica of the classic wooden duck, one of LEGO's earliest toys. This is a super nostalgic set that not a lot of people know about, but there's actually still one little secret left. Using the string that's attached to the body, you can wheel this set around wherever you want, and when you do, the bill actually moves up and down, making it look like the duck is quacking. Isn't that great? This secret is pretty good, but that isn't the only LEGO secret that involves a duck. But this next one needs a bit of context. In a comic series by Stuart Moore, the superhero Deadpool and Howard the Duck got mixed together, and for some reason, LEGO really liked how that looked and decided to create a minifigure out of it. This is the Deadpool Duck minifigure, and the only way you could have gotten it was if you attended the San Diego Comic-Con back in 2017. In case you didn't know, LEGO absolutely loves hosting raffles at the San Diego Comic-Con. They've been doing it for years, and the items are usually only ever available through the raffle. As you can imagine, this causes them to garner a crazy price tag. The Deadpool duck is worth around $1,500, and even though that's a super high number, it's actually on the low end for a lot of minifigures given away at Comic-Con. But believe it or not, there's an even more secret minifigure that's worth $1,000 less than this one. This is the LEGO Batman Zur-En-Arrh minifigure, and even though it looks super sick, it's actually only worth $500. It was available at the San Diego Comic-Con back in 2014, so it's actually older than the Deadpool duck. For some reason though, the price is way lower. That is, if it isn't in the original packaging. If you happen to have this minifigure in the blister pack it came in originally, the value jumps up $1,000. So if you have this thing laying around for whatever reason, I suggest you lock it up in a vault or something. Up next is a promotional piece for one of the biggest games in sports. This is the LEGO Stanley Cup, and it's literally the Stanley Cup but branded in LEGO. This thing is from all the way back in 2004, and the only way you could have gotten it was if you bought this, the LEGO Championship Challenge set. In my opinion, this is one of the coolest LEGO pieces I've ever seen, and I didn't even know it existed. For that reason alone, it more than qualifies to be on my list of secrets. So let's move on to the next item. Up next is a minifigure that was only available at the grand opening of the LEGO store in London. The secret minifigure I'm talking about is this guy right here, named Lester. He truly embodies the spirit of British culture. With his bowler hat, umbrella, and distinctive Union Jack coat, he's got the whole package. But since he was such a well-kept secret, he's pretty hard to come by. I mean, you literally had to be at the store when it opened in London. Who could have ever known that? Up next is an item that's based on a literal space probe. This is the LEGO Ulysses space probe set, and it was only available for LEGO VIP members. This exclusive set was sold on the lego.com VIP rewards website on April 14th, 2021 at exactly 9 a.m. So many VIP members tried to get this set that the website started having multiple issues. But even through all of that, it still sold out in under 15 minutes. Now, you might be wondering, why would a set of a space probe sell out so fast? Well, it's because this set is modeled after a real space probe. It was made by NASA and in 1990 set out on a journey to study the sun, which is actually pretty cool. For some reason though, LEGO didn't want this thing to be available to everyone, so they made it for VIP members instead. I have to say, this is pretty disappointing. This is one that I would have liked to build for sure. Up next is an item that was given away at the 2023 San Diego Comic-Con, but this one wasn't in a raffle. This is the LEGO Masters gift set, and the only way you could have gotten it was if you beat the scavenger hunt that LEGO set up that year. The set isn't worth all that much, but it honestly looks super sick. It comes with 107 pieces, and once it's fully built, you literally own a set that was given to you by LEGO themselves. I think I need to buy a ticket for next year's Comic-Con in San Diego. It seems like there's always some secret LEGO stuff going on there. This next item isn't much of a secret, but that isn't why I put it on this list. This is the one of two 14 karat gold Boba Fett minifigure. And as I said before, this minifigure is no secret. So why am I including it in this video? Well, it's because no one actually knows where these minifigures are. There are two major LEGO Star Wars collectors in the LEGO community. The first one is Rarest LEGO Minifigures on Instagram, and the other one is LEGO Man Scotland on Instagram. It's speculated that one of these guys owns one of the two minifigures. So where's the other one? Well, the truth is, nobody really knows. The closest people came to finding it was when a kid on YouTube posted an unboxing of his one of two gold Boba Fett, but it turned out to be custom made. So the fact is, the whereabouts of these ultra rare minifigures is completely unknown, and whoever owns them is probably keeping it a secret on purpose. I mean, I can't say I blame them. These things are worth a ton of money. Anyways, let's move on from hyper rare minifigures and get back to a secret LEGO set. This is the LEGO Vesta wind turbine set. Now, officially, there are two versions of this set, one of which was released pretty recently, back in 2018, but that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one from 2008 that was only given to some lucky Vesta employees. The set was actually pretty small, containing just over 800 pieces and only having 3 minifigures. But what LEGO didn't tell you was that they actually used mechanics from LEGO Power Functions in this set. Once you hook up all the wires and motors, the wind turbine actually spins on its own, and it lasts for hours. But since this set was released in 2018, the original got completely overshadowed, making it a little hard to know that it even existed in the first place. If you ask me, I'd say that makes it pretty secret. Up next is a set that was only on the shelves for a year before it was retired, the Black Pearl. The LEGO Black Pearl set is a highly detailed and sought-after set from the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. It was released in 2011, has 804 pieces, and includes 6 minifigures, 4 of which were only ever sold in this set. It was retired in September of 2012 after only 11 months of availability. So if you weren't paying attention, you were out of luck. These days, a sealed Black Pearl set can sell for over $1,000, with some listings reaching as high as $2,200. The set is super sought after among LEGO creators and enthusiasts, not only because of how limited it was, but also because of the rare minifigures and the fact that it's literally the Black Pearl. I mean, come on, we all want to go for a ride on that ship, am I right? Up next is a set from one of the best LEGO themes ever. This is the LEGO Ferrari F40 from the Creator Expert theme. In case you didn't know, Creator Experts contains some of the most challenging sets in all of LEGO, which means when they're fully built, they look incredible, and the Ferrari F40 is no exception. The set was released in 2015 and was only available for a limited time before it was retired from production. It contains 1,158 pieces and features numerous authentic details. This is just what you would expect from the Creator Experts line. And to be honest, the line itself is pretty secret all on its own. But since the Ferrari F40 is such a famous car, I had to let you guys know that there's a LEGO set for it. Up next is another super rare minifigure from the San Diego Comic-Con. This is the Green Arrow minifigure, and it's from all the way back in 2013. I don't know what it is, but it seems like LEGO really likes giving away minifigures from LEGO DC at Comic-Con. I mean, there are so many that I can hardly keep track. Anyways, the minifigure is decked out in a highly detailed outfit complete with his iconic bow. The intricate design and accurate representation of the Green Arrow character makes this minifigure a must-have for collectors looking to expand their superhero-themed LEGO sets. That's a pretty tall order though, because this guy usually sells for around $4,000. If you think this price is bad though, you're gonna hate the next one. This is the LEGO Black Suit Superman minifigure, and it was released at the same Comic-Con as Green Arrow. While this may be the case, Black Suit Superman is worth more than double what Green Arrow is worth. Yeah, this thing sells for upwards of $10,000. Only 200 of these minifigures were given to winners at the San Diego Comic-Con, but that price tag is still ridiculous. Up next is a LEGO set that's similar to the Vesta set from before. This is the LEGO Tree of Creativity set from 2018, and even though it's retired now, it isn't rare at all. Loads of people bought this set when it was available, but what a lot of them didn't know was that this set had actually already been distributed, just not in the way you'd think it'd be. The year before it released in 2017, 175 of these sets were given out to attendees of the LEGO Inside Tour. But since it got released again in 2018, how would anyone know if you had an original one from 2017? Well, all 175 of the sets were actually numbered, and LEGO only does this with the exclusive sets from the Inside Tour, so it's really easy to tell. The sets from the tour have sold for over $3,000, while the ones from 2018 sell for about $100, which is a really big difference considering the sets are basically identical. Regardless, this is another one of those instances where LEGO was definitely trying to hide the original set from the world. Nice try, LEGO, but we got you. Up next is a super rare item from LEGO Bionicle. This is the LEGO Bionicle Mask of Creation, one of the most significant components of the entire Bionicle franchise. The LEGO Bionicle Mask of Creation is considered to be one of the rarest LEGO items in all of Bionicle, and it's for good reason. This mask was only ever featured in one set, the Mask Maker vs. Skull Grinder set. It was released back in 2015 and retired less than a year later, so you had barely any time to get one of these sets. I think it's safe to say that if you somehow missed this set, you probably never even knew this mask existed in real life. Up next is a set that was made in collaboration with the shipping company Maersk. This is the LEGO Line Container Ship from all the way back in 2010. It was part of the Advanced Model series, which makes it a lot rarer than you may think. The Advanced Model series was around from the year 2000 to 2014, but in those 14 years, only 31 sets were made for the entire series. Because of this, the series as a whole was kept pretty secret, which doesn't really make much sense to me. Regardless, the ship itself is pretty cool, and the fact that it's from such a secret LEGO theme makes it way cooler. Up next is a pair of Marvel minifigures that are probably worth more than your bank account. These are the LEGO Iron Man and Captain America minifigures. But this time, they aren't from Comic-Con. They're actually from the New York Toy Fair. These two guys were given away at the fair back in 2012, and even though they don't look like much, trust me, there's a big story here. Instead of being your regular Marvel minifigures, these guys are actually comic book versions, not like their counterparts from the movies. They've only ever been released at the 2012 New York Toy Fair, and because of this, they're worth right around $10,000. Now, even though these guys may be worth a lot, they fly under the radar of a lot of LEGO fans since they weren't from Comic-Con. Man, all this talk of expensive minifigures is getting me a little hopeful. I might have to check my own collection and see if I have anything that's actually worth something. Up next is another set from the LEGO Inside Tour, but this one is way more rare than the Tree of Creativity. This is the LEGO Old Kirk's House set that was given to attendees of the 2009 LEGO Inside Tour, and believe it or not, only 32 copies were produced, making it one of the rarest LEGO sets ever. The set is a recreation of the real-life home of Old Kirk Christensen, the original founder of LEGO. The set was later repackaged and reproduced for LEGO employees as a gift. However, the original Old Kirk's house remains highly valuable and sought after by collectors. One signed and numbered set recently went up for auction and is expected to sell for as much as $2,500. But I mean, this is no surprise to me though. We're literally talking about the founder of LEGO here. Last, but certainly not least on my list, is the Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon. But I'm not talking about the one on the LEGO website right now. The one that I'm talking about is from all the way back in 2007. This absolute beast gets overshadowed by the new and improved one we have today, but we can't forget our roots. It's long been known as the most valuable LEGO set to date, and it shows. In one Las Vegas auction, a first edition in an airtight case sold for $15,000. So fortunately, it seems like not everyone has forgotten about it. To kick things off, I want to ask you guys a question. Did you know that there are technically no pink LEGO bricks? LEGO was originally made in Denmark, and Danish doesn't have a word for the color pink. Funnily enough though, there is actually a LEGO piece that uses the word pink. It's called flamingo pink, but it wasn't used for a flamingo. It was used for these pink flowers way back in 2006. It was only in 2 sets and it hasn't been back since, which makes it a pretty rare LEGO color. Flamingo pink isn't the only color that has some value to it though. There's a color known as sand green that has a bit of a story to it. It was first introduced with the Statue of Liberty set back in 2000. Now, even though sand green bricks are technically in hundreds of LEGO sets, this is the only one where you can get a bunch of them in one go. This set is valued at around $6,000, which is crazy for a LEGO set. Because of this, the value of individual sand green bricks went up as well. While we're on the topic of the color green, I want to direct your attention to the LEGO Minecraft Frozen Peak set. At first glance, you might not notice anything, but I'm sure if any Minecraft lovers are watching, you guys noticed right away. For some reason, Steve seems to be wearing bright green armor. In case you didn't know, there's a material in Minecraft called emerald. but it isn't possible to make armor out of it. The only way to make green armor in Minecraft is to dye leather, but it looks nothing like what Steve has on in this set. I don't really know what happened, but someone definitely messed up. This next LEGO item is sure to make you scratch your head. This is the LEGO Golf gift set. And guess what? There's not a single brick in this entire product. This is actually a super rare LEGO themed golf set that was given out to employees as a gift for a very short period of time. As you can see, everything that comes with this set is branded with the LEGO logo, so it definitely isn't fake. This item is so rare that Bricklink doesn't even have any listed. So if you somehow have one of these things, you have an insanely rare piece of LEGO history. Up next is something you'd only notice if you knew LEGO like the back of your hand. This is the LEGO Mobile Police Dog Training Set, and as you can see, there's a pretty odd looking minifigure here. It's supposed to look like one of those dog trainers that wears a protective suit for bite training. Usually this would be impossible to pull off with a regular minifigure, so LEGO decided to repurpose the cactus minifigure. This is a super cool example of LEGO thinking outside the box, but stick around because there are some more that are way crazier than this. For you to know this next secret, you'd have to have tracked a character across the LEGO universe for 6 whole years. This is Infernox from the Power Miners theme. He was originally made in 2010 and was featured in the Clawcatcher set. Obviously, he's a very small rock monster here, but in a set from 2016, he turned into this. This is the Infernox Captures the Queen set from the Nexo Knights theme, and as the name says, this giant monster is Infernox. I don't know what this guy did to get so massive in just 6 years, but it's safe to say there's no way I would have noticed this without the help of the internet. This next secret was technically available to the public, but it's so old that I don't even remember it existing. This is the LEGO Avatar: The Last Airbender theme, released in 2006. This theme was based on the Nickelodeon show Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of the most popular kids shows ever. Only 2 sets were made for this theme, which is really weird considering how big this show was. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but clearly this theme wasn't meant to happen, because the whole thing was scrapped a year after it was introduced. Speaking of famous kids shows, did you know that LEGO made a SpongeBob theme too? The theme was originally brought out all the way back in 2007, with the debut set being Mrs. Puff's Boating School. The theme was retired in 2013, but in the 6 years it was around, only 14 sets were made in total. Makes you wonder why LEGO decided to keep it around for so long, since basically nothing happened with it. Up next is a super cool Easter egg in the Nintendo Entertainment System set. The coolest part about this Easter egg is the only way you know about it is if you actually built the set yourself. But these days we have the internet, so we can skip that step. On the back of the console, there's a removable panel that reveals a very familiar looking setup. Upon closer look, people figured out that it was the 1-2 level from the original Mario game. Even cooler than this was the fact that the level was underground and had a black background, making its location in the set very accurate and nostalgic. For this next secret, you'd really have to be in the loop to know that it's even there. This is the London bus set, and the Easter egg here lies within the license plate. If you didn't know, LEGO is notorious for making all sorts of references on their car license plates, with a bunch of them being in the set for James Bond's car. But for the London bus, the black license plate on the front showcases the set number and the initials of the designer of the set, Martin Graf Wang. I guess when you're a LEGO designer, you get to do cool stuff like add your own initials to sets. Pretty cool. While we're on the topic of LEGO references, let's take a look at the Galaxy Cruiser set from 2022. Fun fact about this set, it's actually a remake of a much older version from all the way back in 1979. It's a classic LEGO set that a lot of people love, so the remake had a lot of hype. On the new version's radar screen, you can see a logo for a group called Blacktron. They were the bad guys from the classic space line. People thought this was just a cool Easter egg until LEGO released a new and improved Blacktron Cruiser set in 2023. On the radar screen in this set was a picture of the Galaxy Cruiser, so the Easter egg was brought full circle. For this next secret, I want to switch gears and tell you about some sets you might not even know exist. Every year, LEGO hosts this crazy tour of their original factory in Denmark. It lasts a whole 3 days and is the perfect getaway for any LEGO fanatic. The problem is that it can get pretty expensive, so a lot of people tend to steer clear of it. What they don't know though, is that they're actually missing out on LEGO sets that can only be purchased at the inside tour. Sets like Ole Kirk's house, a model of the founder of LEGO's house, or the LEGO Truck Show set, a set that tells the story of a real LEGO truck show that happened across Europe. These sets and so many more were available at the LEGO Inside Tour, but if you thought about buying them, Guess again, because they're only available for a singular year, making the resale value insanely high. Another insanely secret LEGO set is the Christmas X-Wing set. It's a complete reskin of the iconic X-Wing from Star Wars. This set wasn't even available to the public though, so there's no way you could have gotten your hands on it. That is, unless you worked for LEGO during the holidays in 2019. This set was actually given out to LEGO employees as Christmas gifts that year. Yeah, you literally had to work for LEGO to be able to get this thing, which is a shame to be honest. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that I'd buy this thing instantly. This wasn't the only gift given out to LEGO employees though. This is a solid gold LEGO brick. It's made of 14 karat gold and was also given out to people who worked for LEGO. The brick wasn't given to just anyone though. You had to have been working at the Hohenwestedt factory in Germany for 25 years to get this. Along with this, it was only given out 2 or 3 times, all the way back in 1979, making it one of the rarest LEGO products to ever exist. Up next is a LEGO secret you'd only notice if you were really paying attention. This is the Darksaber from Star Wars. It's been seen many times, but most famously in the show The Mandalorian. Since this show got so big, LEGO made a super sick version of the Darksaber and threw it in with the Mandalorian set. What you might not know though is that this isn't the first Darksaber that LEGO's released. The Darksaber has been around for ages in the Star Wars universe, so before it was as known as it is today, LEGO didn't really need to worry about it. This is the original Darksaber, and it's only been featured in 2 sets ever, the Mandalorian Speed and Pre-Vizsla's Mandalorian Fighter sets. So if you have this thing laying around somewhere, you've got a pretty rare lightsaber on your hands. While we're talking about LEGO Star Wars, I want to show you a minifigure you might not have seen before. This is Max Rebo, and unlike the Darksaber, this guy is only available in one LEGO set, Jabba's Sail Barrage. Max Rebo is a musician for Jabba the Hutt's band. His screen time was very limited, and he didn't have one line in any of the movies. Combine all of these factors, and you end up with a pretty unknown minifigure. Okay, so we all know LEGO isn't perfect, and sometimes they make some pretty insane mistakes. This one though is on a whole other level. This is a LEGO City Sheriff minifigure. Looks pretty normal, right? Well, imagine you bought a LEGO City set with one of these in it, just to open up the set and see this thing fall out. This is by far the minifigure with the biggest dome in history. If you have any questions about anything LEGO related, make sure you ask this guy. For this next secret, I need you to try not to go insane. Here we have a LEGO sausage piece. There's nothing special about it, it's just a regular old sausage. What makes this piece so interesting is how LEGO uses it. It's by far the most versatile LEGO piece in LEGO history. It's been used for all sorts of different things, like stems in wildflowers, eyebrows on the Statue of Liberty, and support beams on the Eiffel Tower. This piece has been around since 1998, and since its initial release, LEGO's remade it in 13 different colors, allowing them to use it however they want. This isn't the only weird piece LEGO has done this with though. They've also done it with a frog, most famously on the bonsai tree set. If you look close enough, you'll notice that every single pink leaf is actually a frog, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. LEGO can get super creative with stuff like this, and it's made for some very memorable sets. For this next secret, I have to tell you guys about an Easter egg that's from outside of LEGO. In every Pixar movie, there's a reference to the sequence A113. The reason for this is because it's the classroom at the California Institute of Art where students learn to animate. Most alumni from this school ended up at Pixar, so they wanted to honor the classroom in their movies. Funnily enough, this actually got carried over into LEGO. This is a spy jet escape set, and it's based on a scene from Cars 2. If you look on the back of the plane, you can actually see A113 printed right on it. I guess LEGO never backs down from a bit. Up next is another reference that's exactly where it belongs. This is the Indiana Jones Lost Tomb set from the Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. This secret reference is a little difficult to find, so I'll point it out to you. Up at the top of the set, there's a flat LEGO piece with some hieroglyphs on it, but they aren't all hieroglyphs. 2 of them are actually the outlines of R2-D2 and C-3PO from Star Wars. Now, you might be wondering what these 2 are doing in an Indiana Jones set. Well, the creator of Indiana Jones is actually the same guy who made Star Wars, George Lucas. Maybe this is the crossover he always dreamed of but could never make happen. Not every reference made in LEGO sets is happy though. One of the more sad ones can be found in the Ghostbusters HQ set from 2016. On one of the investigation boards, the phrase RIP HR is written very clearly on one of the pieces of paper. This is actually there to honor the passing of Harold Ramis. The actor played the character Egon Spengler in the movie and also wrote the scripts for Ghostbusters 1 and 2. RIP Harold Ramis, he was a true legend. On a more positive note, let's take a look at the A-frame cabin set. This set actually has a few really cool details, and then a really funny one you might not notice. In the attic of the set, there's a spider sitting on one of the rafters, and in the back of the house, there's a piece that's supposed to replicate an outdoor shower. Pretty neat. The funny detail in this set, though, is that the stones that support the house are actually made up of Thor's hammer. Jeez, I knew Asgard fell, but I didn't know it fell that hard. Another set the LEGO designers loved making references in was the Hogwarts Castle and Grounds set from the Harry Potter theme. The list is a little long, so stay with me here. There are rooms for the key room, the chess room, and the room for the Sorcerer's Stone itself. There's also the Whomping Willow with Ron's car stuck in it, the Chamber of Secrets, and even the Potions classroom. This thing is absolutely loaded with references, and is the perfect LEGO set for any Harry Potter fan. The big version also happens to have some references too, the biggest one being the number of pieces in the set. Every LEGO set has a number on the box telling you how many pieces it is. For this set, 6,020 pieces were used to make it, which is insanely high. The secret here is that this number is actually referencing the Magic Shop set, one of the earliest LEGO sets that includes a wizard. I guess the wizarding world goes a little farther than Harry Potter. Now, I'm not too sure what it is, but for some reason, LEGO loves putting references in smaller versions of giant sets. This is the mini Disney Castle set, and these references aren't too easy to see. If you manage to look through the front door, you'll see 3 black nanofigures inside. From here, you'll have to remove the top, but after this, you'll find a piece dedicated to the original Disney Castle set, and a piece dedicated to Cinderella's glass slippers. These 2 items are huge parts of both LEGO and Disney, so to see them referenced here is really interesting. Last but not least on my list is the Homer Simpson Brickhead set. It's a known fact that Homer Simpson is pretty dumb and really likes donuts, so LEGO decided to add a few details to Homer's brickhead. First, instead of using a normal size pink brick for the brain, they used a much smaller one. And second, if you remove Homer's stomach, you'll open it up to find a bunch of donuts sitting in it, since he eats them literally all the time. LEGO truly is one of the most dedicated companies of all time. Up first is an insanely secret reference in the LEGO Atari set, but for you to understand it, I'm gonna need to give you some context. The Atari 2600 was one of the first consoles ever released, having been released in 1977. Since video games were such a new phenomenon, there was something huge that hadn't been done by anyone yet: Easter eggs. The Atari 2600 was known for 3 main games: Asteroids, Adventure, and Centipede. But the crazy thing here is that Adventure actually contains the first Easter egg ever seen in a video game. LEGO took note of this and made a tribute to it with a literal egg. Along with the LEGO Atari 2600, you can also build 3 smaller models that represent each game. The model for Adventure is a little castle, but you may be wondering, where's the Easter egg? Well, if you turn the castle around and look at the back of it, there's actually a LEGO egg sitting right there. This was a great way for LEGO to reference the first Easter egg in video game history. And considering how good the LEGO designers are, no wonder they were able to do something like this so easily. If you thought this LEGO secret was cool though, just keep watching, because they get even better as the video goes on. Up next, I want to show you a few secrets hidden inside the LEGO minifigure tribute set. Now, this set on its own can probably be considered an Easter egg, because you can only buy it at the LEGO house in Denmark. It's one of 5 exclusive sets in the LEGO house for 2024. So unless you want to take a trip to Denmark, you literally can't buy this set in stores. But anyways, let's get into the Easter eggs. Starting at the bottom of the set, if you take the pirate off of the platform it sits on, you'll find some buried treasure in the form of 2 golden ingots. Very fitting for our pirate over here. Then a little further up, builders notice that the map he's holding is actually a map of Denmark, and the X is where the LEGO house is. Pretty cool. Then all the way up top inside of his head, there's actually a little island inside to show how truly dedicated this pirate is to his lifestyle. This last Easter egg though is by far the most secret. If you take a look at the hook on his hand, you'll notice a little blue plate on the pirate's wrist. This is actually a reference to the blue wristband that visitors of the LEGO house get when they take their tour. So unless you actually went on the tour yourself, you have no way of knowing what this little plate actually represents. Isn't that crazy? This next secret though is one that you definitely missed. These 3 LEGO sets have absolutely nothing in common. I mean, they're all from different themes, and they weren't even released at the same time. So what's the secret? Well, it actually has nothing to do with the sets themselves. It's about the boxes that they're packed in. On every single one of these boxes, there's a little icon that references the set that's packed inside of it. On the Red 5 helmet, you can find 2 lightsabers on the bottom of the box. On the Iron Man helmet, there's a mini version of the helmet that's also hidden away on the bottom of the box. And for the Fender set, there's a little guitar hidden in plain sight on the front of the box. box. Now, like I said before, these sets have nothing in common, so that probably means that there are hidden icons on a bunch of different sets. So if anybody watching manages to find an icon on one of their boxes, let me know which set it's for and what icon is on it in the comments. I'd love to know what you guys can find. Anyways, getting back to the secrets, did you know that Lego is actually inside the Museum of Natural History? Of course, I'm talking about the Lego set, but what do I mean by this? Well, there are a bunch of hidden secrets and references in this Lego set, but this one stood out to me the most. If you make your way to a certain part of the museum, you'll find some very familiar looking items up on display. Well, all 6 of these items are actually references to some of the earliest and most successful Lego themes ever. On the left, we have a reference to Lego Pirates and the Black Seas Barracuda set. In the middle is a reference to Lego Forest Man and the Forest Man's Hideout set. And finally, on the right is a reference to Lego Castle and the famous classic Yellow Castle set. All of these themes and sets helped Lego get to where they are today, so I'd say they definitely deserve a spot in the Lego Museum of Natural History. Up next is probably one of the biggest secrets in Lego history. So we all know that Lego has made an absolute brick ton of sets since their first one back in 1949. Since then, they've made over 20,000 different sets. But did you know that Lego actually keeps all of these sets in one place? That's right. Lego actually has a secret vault called Memory Lane, where they keep a copy of every single Lego set ever made. The vault is hidden deep underground in the Lego Idea House in none other than Billund, Denmark. If you know where to look, you can find some pictures of what the inside of the vault looks like, and only then will you realize that Lego really does have every set ever made inside of this vault. I can't even believe this actually exists. I mean, isn't this the type of thing that only happens in movies? Anyways, let's move on from this insane feat and get to the next secret. Up next is a crazy secret hidden within the Koenigsegg Jesko set. On the outside, there's nothing going on here. It's just a regular old Lego car. Well, that's because the secret can only be found if you build the set yourself. Hidden in the frame of the car is a giant Swedish flag staring right at you. This is a reference to Koenigsegg Automotive's background. The man who started the now world-renowned sports car company is named Christian von Koenigsegg, a Swedish native. This is a super respectful nod that you don't see very often in Lego, but this actually isn't the only set with a hidden flag. There's also one hidden inside the Lego Taj Mahal. Similar to the Koenigsegg Jesko, it's hidden deep within the set and can only be found if you build it yourself. In case you didn't know, the Taj Mahal is located in India and is known as one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. But if you take a look at the Indian flag, then look at the Lego Taj Mahal, it seems almost impossible to hide it somewhere. Well, it's actually because you have to take off the entire building. If you look at the base of the set from a bird's eye view, there's no mistaking it. That's definitely the Indian flag. I have to say, Lego, you're pretty good at hiding things in plain sight. I almost didn't catch this one. Up next is a secret that took over 20 years to come to life. This is the Lego Granite Grinder set. It's from a long-lost Lego theme called Lego Rock Raiders, but that's not what's important here. This set was released all the way back in 1999. So isn't it crazy that it just so happened to show up in a set from 2023? That's right. In the Cozy House set, there's actually a mini granite grinder sitting right in front of the house. This is a super low-key Easter egg that only the craziest Lego fanatics could have caught. I mean, seriously, how did anyone ever notice this? Up next is a secret you'd only know about if you worked for Lego. Now, I'm sure this is something we'd all love to do, but how many of you can say you've actually done it? Well, if you ever end up working at a retail store, you might be able to get a Lego set made specifically for you. Lego's been known to give out a ton of employee-exclusive sets, with one of the most famous ones being the Lego Star Wars Christmas X-Wing from 2019. In total, Lego has only given out 17 sets to their employees over the years. But since 2008, they've been giving out at least one set every year, so it looks like your odds of getting one would be really high. I have to say, Lego, this is pretty generous of you. The prices on some of these sets get absolutely crazy. Up next is a secret surrounding Octan, but it's gonna need some context. Octan is a fake company that was made by Lego in 1992. It started out as a gas station, but was brought full circle by Lord Business in the Lego movie. To the ones who know what it is, the colors are very recognizable. So you can imagine the surprise people had when they found Octan barrels in the instructions for the Lego UCS AT-AT. The colors Octan uses have always been green, red, and white, so there's no mistaking it. Those are definitely Octan barrels. When you think about it though, it actually makes sense. A crime organization giving fuel to the Empire, it definitely lines up. Up next is a secret hidden inside of the Lego Dobby set. Dobby is one of the most loyal and lovable characters in the Harry Potter series. He showed his loyalty to Harry time and time again throughout the story, and people absolutely loved him for this. So when LEGO made the set for him, they made sure to add something that pays homage to that. Hidden under his clothes is a golden LEGO heart. LEGO fans were overjoyed when they saw this for the first time, and I can't say I blame them. Everybody loves Dobby, so it's nice to see him earning some respect in the LEGO world. Up next is a super cool secret in the LEGO Star Wars Executor Super Star Destroyer set. This set is a smaller scale version of the more popular version from 2011, but the secret in the smaller set might make up for its size. If you remove the top pieces of the ship and look at the front of it, you might notice something a little weird. There seems to be some different colored studs lined up in a really weird order. Now, to the average LEGO fan, this means absolutely nothing, but to the dedicated Star Wars fans, this means a lot. These studs actually represent Darth Vader and the bounty hunters on the bridge of the ship in the Executor bridge scene from The Empire Strikes Back. It's a super niche reference that not a lot of people noticed, but once it got found out, the Executor Super Star Destroyer was instantly famous. As an avid LEGO Star Wars fan, I was super happy to see this, but let's move on to the next secret. Up next is a super well-kept secret about the LEGO store on 5th Avenue in New York City. If you were to walk into this store, you'd probably be mesmerized by all of the insanely huge builds that are all over the store, but I'm gonna need you to stay focused. If you tell an employee at this store that it's your birthday or that you're buying a gift for a friend, they'll actually give you a free minifigure torso that you can customize to your liking. Isn't that insane? I mean, who knew that you could just walk into the LEGO store on 5th Avenue and get a custom minifigure for free? Honestly, I might need you guys to keep this secret on the down low. I don't think LEGO would like it very much if a bunch of people randomly started asking for custom minifigures. Up next is a super keen secret in the LEGO Eve set from the Brickheads theme. Eve is from the movie WALL-E, and there's a super famous scene that everyone knows from this movie. While WALL-E and Eve are walking around the now trashed planet Earth, WALL-E comes across a tiny little plant, and without hesitation, Eve quickly takes it from WALL-E and hides it inside her body. Fans of WALL-E always remember this scene, so LEGO made sure to include it in her set. You can't find it once you build the set, but there's actually a little plant hidden inside her body, just like there was in the movie. This is one of the more obvious secrets in this video, but it's still cool that LEGO went the extra mile and added this secret to the set. Up next is a secret with the LEGO City sets, and if you weren't paying close attention, then you definitely would have missed it. This is the LEGO Fun in the Park set from 2016. Now, there's nothing secretive going on here, but I want you to pay attention to this family and their baby. This is the LEGO Pickup and Caravan set from 2018. Do you notice anything? This is the same family from the Fun in the Park set, but now their baby is way older. It doesn't end here though. This is the LEGO Holiday Camper Van set from 2021. Have you noticed it yet? The little kid is all grown up and has a family of his own. He's wearing the exact same outfit from the Pickup and Caravan set, so there's no mistaking it. This is definitely him. Were any of you guys able to notice this secret in real time? Let me know down in the comments. Last but certainly not least is a secret in the LEGO NASA Apollo Saturn V set. As we all know, America was the first country to step foot on the moon way back in 1969. And if you look closely at the box for this first set, you might notice something. The amount of pieces it takes to build this set is identical to the year America first landed on the moon. This rocket was used a number of times in the Apollo missions, otherwise known as Operation Land on the Moon. I have to say, when it comes to Easter eggs and secrets, LEGO might be the best at making them. They really know what they're doing. What was your favorite LEGO secret in this video? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and maybe if you're feeling super nice or something, click a video on the screen. YouTube thinks you'll like them, and to be honest, YouTube is probably right. Also, please subscribe, please.